Good morning, everyone. Today we will tackle about minutes of the meeting. So there are so much information available about how to make an effective or how to write an effective meeting minutes that it's sorts of getting confusing. Because of this influx of information that's not always straightforward, writing meeting notes can seem a little bit a burden. It's a shame because the opposite is true. Meeting notes are a powerful resources for teams and are an essential means to share and disseminate informations in your or throughout the organization. So along with my group mates, we will tackle more about what is minutes of the meeting and its purpose and guidelines.
What are meeting minutes? Meeting minutes are a written record of the conversation and decisions that are made over the course of a meeting. Meeting minutes are applicable to any kind of group within a company, including a board meeting where the parties involved include board of directors. This type of meeting notes can actually be written for any kind of meeting that requires an official record. This written record can then be used to either inform team members who weren't able to attend what happened or to keep track of decision and action items that can be revisited. Minutes from previous meetings can therefore be used in order to make future organizational decisions.
Good day, everyone. I'm Amabel Coro, and our topic is all about the minutes of meeting. I assigned to report the purpose of meeting minutes. What's all the hype around meeting minutes? To start, they provide a historical record of the company's short and long-term planning. Participants have the ability to use the meeting minutes as a record for the future reference to understand what kinds of progression has taken place. Minutes also provide legal protection for the organization. Many times, due diligence is captured in companies' meeting minutes, which can then be officiated and documented to confirm the ethical, fair practices of the organization. Meeting notes also serve as a proof of why and how a company came to certain decisions. This is going to be helpful in answering any question that arise in reference to decisions that have been made. In a recent article about how to take better minutes, the other purpose of meeting minutes about the business running works highlights the importance of meeting minutes. First is they are a record of a group's decisions and actions. Second, they are a reminder of who was given assignments. Third, they are evidence of deadlines. And lastly, is they are a benefit for people who are absent when decisions are made. Generally, taking meeting minutes is important for both historical record keeping and as a reference for guests who couldn't attend, despite the nomenclature. Meeting minutes don't have anything to do with actual minutes meeting. Minutes are just about documenting the key decisions that were made and what's to come next as a result.
So next is the meeting minutes examples. So there are two types of meeting examples, the formal meeting example and then the informal meeting example. So formal meeting example. So this meeting example is used to document big or official decisions that often required approval. Then it also uses formal language and are structured with the purpose of being shared with all of the meeting participants afterwards. So this meeting example is commonly used by non-profits, government, schools, and public companies. In fact, most trade unions, schools, city, and country governments model their meeting minutes based on Robert's Rules of Order. So a quick tip, according to our sources, if you're writing minutes for a formal meeting, it's important to document as much information as possible and keep the meeting format consistent from meeting to meeting. So, this is an example of a format meeting minutes. So, the formal meeting minutes is starts with call to order, then the roll call, then followed by the approval of minutes from last meeting, then the open issue, then next is the new business, and then the adjournment. Then the second type is the informal meeting example. So this meeting example is served as a quick reference to important topics that have been covered in your meeting, such as goals, obstacles, deadlines, or ideas that have surfaced. So another tip is, according to our sources, if your organization doesn't require you to use a specific minutes format, you can use and customize a simpler template. Contrary, contrary to a formal meeting minutes template, no one needs to have approved the minutes for this type of meeting, and they serve to only document that the key points and next steps. So this is a example format of an informal meeting minutes. So this format this format includes three steps. So first is the meeting objective, then the talking points, then the action items.
Writing meeting minutes doesn't need to be stressful. In fact, the whole purpose of them is to make your life less stressful by having the ability to go back and reference what was discussed and what the key outcomes were. There were 7 must-have things to include when writing meeting minutes. 1. Time and date of the meeting. Before you actually start writing your meeting minutes, note the date and time of the meeting. It seems like a no-brainer, but it's worth a mention, saying as it's so important to be able to go back to previous meetings and understand when they happened, what's been accomplished, and what's still outstanding. 2. Names of the participants. The next step is to document the names of all the participants and any other people who able to attend to. Usually, at the beginning of the meeting, there's some time dedicated to the acceptance or amendments to previous meetings minutes. So you can take a look at who attended last time to have a draft version of an attendee list. Better yet, use the calendar invite to check names as participants join or enter the room. 3. Purpose of the meeting. It's very important that the why behind this meeting is documented and made of use. It is in this part of the meeting minutes, try to be detailed in explaining why this meeting was called and what it's trying to achieve. This is going to be especially useful for any individuals who were unable to attend the meeting and for anyone who is using the outcomes of this meeting to fuel decisions. 4. Agenda items and topics discussed. It is a good idea to send out your meeting agenda in advance so that everyone can make suggestions and contribute to it. This means that no one's walking into the room blind to what's going to be discussed. Try using your meeting agenda as a general outline for your meeting notes and use each agenda item as a section to record notes on including any outcomes or major decisions that have been made. What matters is not the agenda itself, but the relevance and importance of what's on it and how the leader facilitates discussions of the agenda items. 5. Item actions. Our action items. Record any decisions or action items as soon as they happen so that you can transcribe them with accuracy. Capturing everything would be impossible. So instead, listen to your action that need to be made in relation to major discussion, recommendations, challenges, or solutions that have been identified. 6. Next meeting date and place. If you're taking formal meeting minutes, it is important for the meeting attendees to know when the call to order for the next meeting is, with regard to this project or topic of discussions. This gives you a general timeline of how long you have to complete the responsibilities that have been assigned to you. Understanding when your meeting next is going to help you manage your time appropriately and prioritize all of your tasks appropriately. It's as important to know the place of your meeting, whether it be online or in person. 7. Documents to be included in the report. The last thing to include are supplementary documents that you should send out with your minutes and the meeting report. Think about if any documents were used or referenced in the meeting which may be useful to include for your team members. Once the meeting is over, it's time to tidy up your notes and distribute them to your team. The best time to do this is directly after the meeting while everything is fresh in your mind. This decreases the chance of mistakes and allows you to reach out to meeting participants if you have questions. That's all for our topic. We hope that you have gained something on our report. Thank you and have a good day.